Well, hello.
Hello.
That's really good. Welcome to the party. Though I'm sure some of you have already had a cocktail or two.
3.
Or 3. My name is Julia Murphy Whitehead Hungerford, but you may call me Julia.
Thank you.
And though I was born in 1897, I came of age in the 1920s, the roaring 20s. But before we get into my somewhat scandalous escapades, let me tell you a little bit about the family here at the Murphy Mausoleum. Now, I'd introduce you, but they're all out and about tonight. Our mausoleum is an exquisite example of neoclassical design. You can tell by the columns. And there's a lovely stained glass angel inside, not dedicated to me, I assure you, but to my father. Both my parents are buried here. Both were children of Irish immigrants. My father, John Murphy, he was the vice president of Trust Company Bank of Georgia, and into steel, cotton oil, and railroads, of course. In 1918, the newspaper called Papa Atlanta's leading capitalist, which is why we had rather a lot of money. My mama, Julia Gatins Murphy, now she bought our plot here at Oakland. But I must ask you a favor regarding Mama. If you see her, don't mention the champagne. She disapproves of liquor and men and parties and really fun of any kind. So let's keep it our secret, shall we? Thank you. My sister Catherine's also buried here. Katie, we called her even though she hated it, or perhaps because she hated it. And 2 of her husbands, the Riley brothers, Jim and Julian, well, they were always mad about Katie, so she married them both. Not at the same time, of course. Now, shall I tell you about my travels out west?
Oh, yeah.
Or shall we chat about my French finishing school in New York?
Whichever's more scandalous.
Well, then maybe we should get to the fun, where I married a playboy who built one of Atlanta's most famous mansions for me. Yes?
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Well, Conkey Whitehead was the charming man I married in 1922. He'd see me speeding down Peachtree Street in the middle of winter with the top down, wearing my favorite fur coat, and fell immediately in love with me. Well, who wouldn't? Now, Conkey's family was rich with a capital R. His father and a partner had bought the bottling rights to Coca-Cola in 1899 for $1. Conkey lived his life in the society pages, and our wedding was big news. We sailed on the Mauritania for our 2-year honeymoon, which was grand since Prohibition had just been passed in the U.S. If you've never been to Paris to drink champagne, you simply must go.
When you grow up.
Upon our return, Conkey built me a house on West Paces Ferry called the Villa Juanita. Acres of land, a swimming pool, and 10-foot high fences for my beloved dogs, even though we joked it was to keep Mama from snooping about. I hear it sold for millions in 2016. Our parties lasted for days. People called it the Great Gatsby House. Bootleggers and debutantes danced the Charleston till dawn. During one such bash, Mama sent my sister to spy on me. Now, when she arrived, Katie found Conkey in the driveway fighting with the taxi driver who had driven him home from the Kentucky Derby. Later, Mama sent someone else to find Katie, who had joined the party. But then, after 7 years, Conkey ran off with the dancer and I sued for divorce. The newspaper printed a picture of him on his yacht with the girl attached to his side like a barnacle. Bon voyage, Conkey. So in 1932, I married Osgood Robert Hungerford. Now, he was penniless, but I didn't need more money. We traveled In Monte Carlo, we met the actress Fanny Brice. I hear they made a musical about her called Funny Girl, and she certainly was. And we met the actor Maurice Chevalier, who made a pass at me, and Lady Mountbatten, who made a pass at Osgood. Or maybe that was the other way around. Anyway, in 1935, after a series of dull illnesses, I died at the age of 38. And I left the Villa Juanita to darling Katie. Now, she founded the Catherine John Murphy Foundation and the Catherine Murphy Riley Outpatient Diagnostic Center at Piedmont Hospital. That's named in her honor. Katie lived in our villa until her death in 1985, but I'm sure her parties were much tamer than when Conkey and I were skinny dipping at midnight and sleeping till noon. But now, you must go and meet the other charming guests at our Oakland soiree. Au revoir. And remember, don't tell Mama about the champagne. Good night. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.